Hello, hello. Welcome everybody to our next episode of Saturday Tea Night. Tonight we have a very important topic tonight. It's about what makes you unique as a mom. So hopefully, lady, you have your tea with you tonight so we can start discussing. Tonight, my name is Jenny. We have Patricia. We have Evelyn Love, team of Mama Wellness Club, and our mission is to inspire healthier family by empowering mom with education, resources, and tips and support pre and post conception. So, how you doing tonight, ladies?
I am doing wonderful. How are you?
Okay, it's just another day. It's Saturday, and we
Come on,
having
come on,
some
come on,
tea.
come on. Up, up, up. Just doing great.
How you feeling? I know you're pregnant, Patricia. You want to say something about,
Well, thank you
celebrating?
for announcing it to the world, Jenny.
Hopefully, you
Well,
guys are the secret. I'm sorry.
oh my God. Not saying anything about this yet, but I am feeling well. Thank you. And yeah, I'm feeling well.
Yes.
Great. Okay. All right, Evelyn. What make you unique as a mom?
What make me
Mm.
unique as a mom? As I've been a mom for the third time now, motherhood has changed me. So what make me unique is experience, I guess. For my first child, I didn't know what to expect how to be a mother. I always wanted to have kids, but then when the reality hit me, it's like
Mm.
I'm a new person. Even though I'm still me, I become like, okay, now I have this baby. I have to make sure that let her know that she's my priority, so that I can let her know that I loved her, and then so we can create a routine between us. How like as mom, we also have work. We have a house to take care of. We have a family to take care of. So creating a routine, I guess, make me. I feel like I'm. That makes me unique. What
That's
about
good.
you?
About me, what make me unique as a mom is I try to do me. I don't get me wrong. I always ask, especially you guys. I always ask for advice because you have older kids than mine. My baby is 2 years old, my oldest. But I try to go with the flow, and I make sure I follow my kids' cue. I make sure like I understand their personality and I go from there and make sure, trying to be stress free, make sure, it's all about their happiness and my happiness at the same time. I think that's what make me unique as a mom. And what about you, Patricia?
Well, what makes me unique as a mom is I try to parent with intention. I don't consider my child. I'm gonna be saying my children soon. I don't consider them as my own. I always see them as like people that God put in my life, and I think I didn't realize that I treat my daughter like an adult until somebody see her as a baby. I've never seen her as a baby since she was a baby, but now she's 5 years old. So I treat her like a little human being, like who's gonna be a mom, hope if this is what she chooses, who's going to have her own family, her own business, everything in life. And then I treat her like someone that God placed in my life so I can make sure I guide her. So I always feel like I'm responsible to respond to God with anything about her. So that makes me like more aware of how I parent, and also how I balance my expectation, because I am a perfectionist, so I try not to put too much pressure on her, with how she performs and how she does things. And I always check myself when I feel like, oh, I'm getting there, I'm being a little too much.
I love when you say I love when you say that you try to speak with her like like a old person, and I can actually relate to you, because since Carla was born, I would talk to her just like my best friend. How you doing,
Mhm.
Carla? Then I'm like, I'm gonna put your diapers on and don't stop crying.
Yeah.
And even my, I think my sister, she put that out. She said, "You talking to her like she's understanding." I said, "Yeah, she better."
Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
I agree. And
Mhm.
I think that this is very important. That's also built a friendship. So you don't
Mhm.
see your child, okay, this is my baby, this is my children, and that's it. As a mom, you're also building a friendship with your children
Yes.
when you are talking to them like, they're somebody like you, they're a person like you, they have feelings.
Yeah.
Yes. I think being you, one thing about that make me unique is I always ask my daughters for their opinions. I don't just tell them, okay, this is what we're gonna do today. This is what we should do. I always ask them, what do you think we should do? Do you like this? Do you like that? How did you feel about what we did before? They always have something to say, and getting their feedback, I think, helped me. Me and being a mother
Mhm.
can be very stressful, and I think that by you
Mhm.
involving your children in everything you do and asking them for their opinion as something that make it easy. It's like it just flow naturally.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
just
Yeah. And now that you say something, I actually something that just came up when you're saying that you asked them for their opinion. Here is the thing. I was shocked the first time that my daughter disagreed with me.
You said what?
You know how? Yeah. I'm like, if you were raised by my parents and my people, you would not be saying no, you don't think so. So
yeah.
I think in asking opinion, it's also like helping us to keep an open mind. But you always get that shock because it's not in a culture to have like kids disagree with their parents.
Hmm.
I mean, you can disagree, but generally it's not well seen. Like people, like Haitian culture, whatever
Hmm.
the parents say, this is what goes. But
Hmm.
I thought that I thought I was so not gonna be the Haitian parents. And I remember you posted something like that in the group. I was gonna answer it and I forgot. So I asked her for something and I don't remember what it was. And then she's like, "No, I don't want to do this, Mom. I don't think so. I don't like it." And then I'm like, "What?" What do you mean? And I realized I just asked her,
Yeah.
I asked her for her opinion. So even though we are asking, we shouldn't expect that they're going to agree and go along. That's the purpose of asking in the first place. And if
Yeah.
we don't take their opinions, then they're going to be like, okay, why you bother asking me? Next time I just won't answer. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think why that's important. We're also building confidence on them. But
Yes.
yes,
Confidence. Yeah.
because we're not only mom, we are also preparing them when they get
Yeah.
older to be out there. They're gonna have friendship. We're basically building a confidence so that they can be easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
being a mom is like it's more than being a mom. You're also raising little one who's gonna be like you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
especially what's going on in the world, like bullying, stuff like that. But giving your child like good confidence, like I believe even if someone would even try to bully her kids, that would be happening because she's like, I know myself, I know what I'm capable of, I
Mhm.
know you not this not gonna happen.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
feel it's very important, like especially I don't know if you guys seen on the news like kids doing suicide because of bullying. It's really sad. So that's
Mhm.
why I feel it's really important. And I remember I just remember with Carla one day she doesn't like when I give her orders. So one day I say, "Go put your shoes on." She just looked at me like this. I said, "Go put your shoes on." She looked at me like this. I say, "My love, can you please go put your shoes on?" And she went and put it on.
Yes. Yes.
She's like, now you're talking, mommy.
Yeah, it's like like if I give
Yes.
her that, she just looked at me like, huh, what are you saying? But when I talk to her like two-person, like two adult, can you please do this? Then she's like, okay, mommy. Then she will go and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's like you. And I think that's the
My
not
husband
in
say
not
that all the
listening, but
time. He
like
say she's
the
just
the
like
look.
you.
giving you the look. And I think that's my thing with my with raising daughters.
Yeah.
um and I think we had that conversation when you're raising a girl who's like you, but they have a little bit of their father, so they
Right.
have like the dominant trait of you and the husband. So now you're dealing with a little person with your personality and your husband's personality. And then and you have to be aware, like every time you come across yourself, like you're looking
Yeah.
at your child, like some things that my daughter tell me and the way that she speaks when she's talking, and I keep looking at her. I'm like, oh my goodness, is that the way I talk? And a lot of people are saying, yeah, she talks exactly like you.
Yeah. So you are
So,
And
very
that and actually that's a good thing. Now you can really reevaluate yourself and see what you can change about
mm,
yourself. Yeah.
exactly. They're the best advisors when it comes to that. And I think
Yeah.
that's the whole purpose of God, um, thinking of children as like very important people instead of just like babying them. I think since she was little, I always had that thing, like when people see babies and like, oh, little baby, oh, yeah." I just never get into doing that with her, because I'm like, even though they have their own process, they have the brand and they have the emotion. And that's the thing that we also have to keep in mind. How do we balance that? We don't want to be too tough. And at the
Mhm.
same time, we don't want to be too soft, because they're going to go out in the world and people are not going to be soft with them.
Mhm.
People are going to judge them. People are going to be mean to them. So they have to know how to respond to that. And sometimes when my daughter cries for something, even though sometimes I say to myself, maybe she's too young, but I feel like she needs to start getting it now. I'm like, no, when you ask for something, they don't give it to you. You find other solutions. You stop crying, start crying, and then make a whole thing about it. Even though that's the age, but I always feel like even though they're at a stage, we can always like find lessons to share with them.
Definitely, because it's not everything they want they're gonna be able to have it. So by
Mm-hmm.
if there is something they want at home, which giving them structure is very, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because when they go out there, they okay, I want this. I can have anything I want. Well, maybe you can
Mm-hmm.
have this, but that's not how it works out there.
No,
Yeah, so and
no.
giving them structure as baby, as children, that's also
Mm-hmm.
preparing them as they get older for when they have their own family or when they're going to have a job.
Mhm.
I believe that this little you is out there now. You wondering,
Yeah.
can he handle herself properly, or can he handle
Mhm.
himself properly? So giving them structure, and not all structure work for all children. So knowing
No.
who your kid is,
Mm.
yeah, knowing who your kid is very important, because like I have three daughters and each of them have different personalities. So sometimes like, okay, what I did with the first one, how come it's not working for the second one? I just have
Mhm.
to learn who she is and use different structure for her, so that then I can better prepare her, because she's not gonna say baby. She's gonna be older.
Yes, and that's why
Yeah.
I believe we can never be too prepared for motherhood because um, I remember when I wanted kids and Carl was telling me, "Are you ready to have kids?" I said, "Yeah, I'm ready. I used to babysit. I used to do this. I used to do that. I'm ready."
You took
Then
travel
when
classes. You graduated college.
I graduated myself, I said, "I'm ready. I can do it. I will do it." And when I had my baby, I was like, "Oh, shoot. Now what do I do?" So all I had to do actually when I had my first baby is just figure her out. I tried to understand her cue, her personality, and go from there. And I know, like, especially in our Haitian culture, especially
Mhm.
the old parent, they try to tell us the right way to
Mhm.
do the
Mhm.
motherhood thing, and it can be so stressful. And what do you guys think about it? Because I have some experience. I just want to hear you guys first.
I stay away from everybody.
Yeah, but
No,
I think
no.
it's good though.
With a
To
grain
take
of
your
salt.
children. They had experience, and just because they did theirs that way doesn't mean I have to do mine
Mhm.
the way that they did it.
Mhm.
So it's okay if they speak, they tell you, oh, you're supposed to be doing that. I'm like, okay, fine. But then me with my children, I know who they are. So I'm not gonna
Yeah.
push them away because they give me their opinion, but I'm gonna do
Mhm.
what best for my family, what best for me, for myself. Because if I'm stressed, I'm not gonna provide them the best love, the best comfort that they need. And this is gonna create a big thing.
Yeah.
So knowing who you are, knowing who your children, this is very important so that you can make it easy. Motherhood is hard.
It
Let's
is
try to
hard.
get to know yourself and your children so that we can make it easy.
Yes,
Because
Mhm.
there's other mom out there who can say, oh, you know what, my daughter is doing this, my son is doing that, and that can intimidate you. Feel like, okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong.
something wrong. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
But then if you look back,
Mhm.
I'm blessed. Look at my children, just because
Mhm.
she's doing this her motherhood way, I can do my own way and I'm happy as long as you
Mhm.
are happy. This is something as
Mhm.
mom we should take it like make it like your top priority, your happiness, and then you can provide better happiness for your children and your family.
Yes, that's
Mhm.
true.
And I like that you bring the piece of comparison because I think this is something that's affecting women a lot. Mostly women. I mean, I'm not sure. I can't speak for dads, but I don't know. I don't know if they sit and start comparing them to other dads. But I think moms, we do that a lot.
Yeah.
I know if they do, they don't share it. But
Yeah.
I know moms, we do it a lot. And I think one way that I center myself is go back. My thing is like praying. 'Cause I always feel like because I'm a type A personality, I always feel like I can be too much of anything. So I have to center myself. Like if I feel a little competitive for something, or if I feel like, oh, you have to do this, like when we're homeschooling and I feel like I'm moving too fast and she's tired and I have to center myself and come back saying you're doing it again. Because I think one part of motherhood is being aware of your weaknesses. Like if
Mhm.
you're a competitive person, it's not so much about comparing other people, but if you know you're a competitive person, just keep that in mind every time. Because sometimes if you don't keep it in mind, you might start doing it and then you don't even realizing it. You don't even realize it, and your daughter or your children are suffering for it. But
Mhm.
when you keep in mind your weakness and knowing that I am that way. So every time I am doing it, and I have a little voice in my head that says, "You're doing it again. You're doing it again. You need to stop. You need to chill." So I think that's one way I center myself, and then we pray a lot together. Um, and I think one time, and I think another thing that I do is just keep God like as a third person in the house, like a physical person, just to keep account. I'm like, I'm not here, but God is watching you. And I think she uses that against me now. Like, Mom, are you telling the truth?
Oh, that's a good point because this is something we do a lot. And then sometimes you're like, Mom, how come I never see God? But you told me that
Yeah,
God is watching me,
yeah,
right? If I do things bad, so it's like, how do you respond to that as a mom?
yeah,
But
yeah.
you want to put God a part of your household, a part of your life, and you telling your kids that, and then you using that saying that you shouldn't do this because
Mm-hmm.
and God is watching you, and then they're like, "But mom, I never see God." Or mom, and then when
Well,
they bad,
me,
Or they catch you doing
I'm like, but then when
it.
they bad, they're like, "Mom, does that mean God is watching you too?" You see, it's like,
Yeah.
you should be like, yeah, because I remember my mom used to play, not play. She used to do the same thing with me. So if I do something wrong and I will ask her for forgiveness, she say, "Don't talk to me. Just ask God for forgiveness." Then I'll be crying so bad, and I'll be like, "Forgive me, God. I'm sorry," because I feel
Yeah.
like I will be I'm in big trouble when because God is mad at me then mom. So that's actually a cool thing to do. And one thing I want to say, I want to point out is I know sometimes, with that, as mother, we're going through so much, and it's really hard. Motherhood. Sometimes I just want to say that we have to learn to forgive ourselves, like with mom guilt and stuff. And think also this will base also on uniqueness, because when you do something, you do some mistake, because you're learning. And I know all of you ladies can say the same thing. With your first baby, it's your first baby is your teacher. Because
Yeah.
you're learning with your baby. You feel like you learn. And sometimes, mom guilt is so hard. Sometimes I used to see myself crying because of mom guilt. And that's when I want to point out, we have to learn to forgive ourselves, and take it easy on ourselves.
So, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
I think mom guilt also kind of just sneaks in when we're working a lot, and we get to a point where we feel like, oh my god, I'm not doing enough. Like I
Mm,
work from home, and sometimes I am in my computer, and my daughter needs me. And even though she knows that I work from home, but they don't really get it because you're here. It's like you're sitting right here. If I need something, my mom should be able to get up and then
yes,
come help me with it. I don't she doesn't really understand that I need the space even though I'm here. So sometimes I find myself saying, baby, baby, I'm busy right now. I'm busy right now. And then I see her, and then she walks away, and then she's all sad. And then I have to finish working. And I look at her, I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I can do this job. But then it goes away. Sometimes it comes and go. I'm like, you know what? She'll be fine. She knows even I'm here with her 24/7. After this, I'm gonna close the computer and then be all for her. So I think we also have to have compassion for ourselves and knowing our limits, because children are demanding by nature.
mhm,
And it's easy to kind of just give in to everything that they want and they needs, but sometimes we have to place limit, because if we start giving like everything all the time, we're not gonna have anything left for them until they get to 18, because they're not gonna be 5, they're gonna be like 20 still coming to your house, 25, 30. So if you need to be alive for you for all of your life, I need some kind of energy for myself too.
definitely. And
Yeah.
I think one of the things about being unique as a mom is also to teach your kids to be unique, because it's not just the job that we are giving them. What
Mhm.
we have to make prepare them to be unique themselves. And another
Mhm.
thing, as parent like myself, I'm very hard on myself, and sometimes I try to do it on my daughter. So there's a limit. So sometimes I'm not satisfied with what I'm doing. Okay, I need to do more so I can feel like
Mhm.
I'm there, or I'm a better person. But then I'm looking at her, especially she's very active. She's very they are. I mean, not what am I saying? They are. I have girls. Yeah, it's like every little thing they do, like in school. Like my second daughter, I'm homeschooling her, and she wanted to go to school, especially right now with with the pandemic. I can't send her to school. But then what I try to do is every week with the project that we complete, I give her something. I
Mhm.
congratulate her. I'm like, okay, baby, you did it. You did this week. You complete your assignment. I'm trying to, compliment her and brace, the little milestone that she reached, just so she can feel like, I'm doing great and mommy love me. Mommy's supporting me, even though that um she don't understand the process of homeschooling. She just think that, okay,
Mhm.
I want to go to school because most of the kids are there. So, embracing every little thing that they do as mom,
Mhm.
I feel like this is something we should do. We don't have to wait, oh, my daughter just graduated, my daughter, it's her birthday, or my son just have 100 on his math homework. It's
Mhm.
like we should compliment every little thing that they do as mom.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
agree. I totally agree with you, because um I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah, so in this part, I also think that would
Don't
also
talk.
It will come back. It will come back, Jenny.
Yeah, it will come
Yeah.
back. Mommy brain.
Mommy brain. You know,
Yeah,
that's a real thing. I find myself forgetting things and I'm mostly expecting, I'm forgetting to fill out my timesheet, which is a thing now.
uh,
So, and I think sometimes we have to be vulnerable and not try to keep like keep it perfect all the time, because it doesn't help us. At one point, I had to tell the manager who's responsible for payroll. I said, you know what? I am expecting. I don't know what's going on with me. I keep forgetting everything. And she's like, oh my God, I just had a baby. And then she opened up because she's a mom too and she understands. But imagine that I have kept this for myself and try to do it. Oh, I might. That's. I think this is where the struggle sets in because we forget how to be vulnerable as mom and forget how to make fun of yourself. Sometimes you forget things, sometimes you do silly things, and I think sometimes my daughter's like, silly mommy. You do forget things, and even when we going out, it's like, "Wait, did you close the door?" And she's like I think now that I'm pregnant, she thinks that because she's gonna have another little one, she's like older, so she's inspecting things, which is helpful. But I think it helps to be vulnerable and not feel like that we have to keep a strong and perfect face all the time.
Yes, I agree with you. And also, you are your kids' role model, so you have to practice the uniqueness in yourself, so your kids can practice the uniqueness. That's why
Yeah.
we have to make sure because they really observe and they watch everything. Like especially my daughter, like when she goes to the doctor and they want to do something for her, doctor has to try it on us first so she can do it. If they don't know, yeah, they have to like acting like they're gonna give me a shot or something so she can say, okay, let
I
me try
got
it.
it.
So mommy did it. Yeah. Mommy did it so I can. So all of this it's because they're observing and they try and they, especially daughters, they trying to be like mommy. I know you
Mhm.
guys can relate to that. What do you want it to be when you get old? I want to be like you, mommy. So,
Yeah.
that's why we really have to practice all of this, what we want to teach our kids on ourselves so they can
Hmm.
see for themselves what it's really mean to be unique and teach them it's okay. It's okay to be different. There's nothing wrong if everybody's doing this and doing something way different.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean you're going to fail. Believe in yourself and you will thrive. And
Hmm. Yeah.
yes, and
And and now that we are almost at the end, I want to throw this question to the platform and see how you guys are dealing. How are you dealing with like support with your partner or with your environment? Like when you have like those bad days and then you feel like I just can't wait for somebody else to come and take over. How do you handle that? Maybe we can end on how mom can reach out for support or create their own support system, or deal with daily struggle because it's not every day we're gonna apply all of these things. Because some days I'm like, the minute that my husband walks to the door, I'm like, I went to take a shower and I get on my bed.
you off for the day.
And the trick is I don't say anything. I know now if he's watching this, he's gonna be like, uh-huh. But I mentally I mentally try to check off when my husband comes home. I feel like, you know what? He's home. So there's a second eye watching on my daughter. I mentally check off. Like my daughter could be crying. It's like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. because I'm off for the
Yeah,
day.
you off.
you know, for me, it's hard. It's hard to do that. But, when I'm having a bad day, I just let my spouse know. I let him know when he gets home. I'm like,
Yeah, I do that.
I
Yeah.
just get home, and then he's like, "Oh, I know you had a rough day. You want me to do this? Do you need me to help you with that, or should or go
Hmm.
take a rest now? I'll take over." And I think
Hmm.
if you speak, let people know. If you don't have I
Yeah.
know there's a lot of single mom and stuff. If you have a bad a friend, if you speak, just let them know how you're feeling. Some people might want
Mm.
to provide support for you to you, but if you don't let them know, they
They
won't
want.
know. Yes, I think like you mentioned, being vulnerable. Communication is like it's like the key. You have to communicate with whoever you trust to watch over your children. It's either your spouse or friend.
Mhm.
Some people even have a neighbor. Whoever the trust person that you have for your children, let them know. I think that's the
Yeah.
best way for them to provide the best support that you probably need.
Yeah. What about
I
you, Jenny?
My husband is my number one support,
Yeah.
and he's actually right next to me. Because sometimes he actually say that he say I bother him. He say you so annoying. I'm like, well, I only have you. What can I do? And I need help. Sometimes even if I say babe, it's like babe. Now what? I said I need you. Wherever he go hiding from, I will go and find him and ask for that support. And also, you guys, you are my number one support also, and I'm so grateful. My sister Stephanie, my cousin Cassandra, my sister-in-law. I'm so blessed that I have all that support, and one not one day go back. I don't call them to bother them if I need help. Like,
Mhm.
and I'm really happy for that, because even if like midnight, 1 in the morning, something is going on, I'm gonna text someone. I know I'm gonna text someone, and I know they have their own family, so I don't really put pressure on them. But
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask for support, because it's very
Yeah.
important, because unfortunately, like, I don't have my mom with me
Mm.
for support. So whatever support I can get from, I take advantage of it. My boss, everybody, I can ask for support.
Today.
I ask for it. Because it's better to ask than not asking. Like,
Yeah.
motherhood is so hard. You will never, ever, ever, ever find, figure it out. But if you have support in all of this, you can make it easy on yourself. I mean, on yourself and your kids and your
Mhm.
husband and your family. So it's very important, and that's why Mama Wellness was created, actually, is to support moms, support
Mhm.
family, and even moms to be. Like, you don't have to be a mom, but if you plan on having kids, that's something you might try to look into, some advice you try to look into. And we here for support, and we hope that's why we hope for, and we here for. So yeah.
But guys, I have a question before we end, because sometimes I've been told that I give too much affection to my children. Is there such thing as giving too much affection to your children?
I can answer that because they told me the same thing.
Right?
I was the mom who hold my baby all the time.
I'm still doing that.
That's
I'm like,
me.
it's okay if they spoil.
Like,
It's
you know,
okay. They go too
yeah.
fast. They go so fast. One day, because now I'm looking at my daughter. I'm like, okay, look at her now. She wouldn't even want me to hold her. So can you imagine?
Exactly.
Take advantage, because they go so fast. Enjoy your baby. Enjoy.
Yeah.
'Cause,
And sometimes I'm trying to kiss her, and she's like, "Mom, I'm busy now." So
yeah.
imagine.
My daughter will rub her face like, I don't know, like I shouldn't kiss her. She will just.
Not right
Meanwhile,
now.
when she want me to kiss her, be like, "Kiss mommy." But me, if I kiss her, it's a
She wipe
problem.
yeah, my daughters, yeah, they wipe it away now. I'm like, okay. I see, if I didn't spend that much time, give you guys that much affection,
Mhm.
I feel like I would feel
Dreaded,
some
right?
type of
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want me to kiss you
Mhm.
now? You don't want to come spend time with me? Oh
Yeah.
no, can I go play now? I'm like, oh, okay, now you want your own time. But then we used to spend 20. We used to be together 24/7. But now you
They
need your
never
own.
get tired of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's a myth. I don't bother. People say that all the time. Oh, you're spoiling her too much. I'm like, that's okay. Yeah,
There's
that's
nothing
okay.
wrong, and there's nothing wrong if they spoil. That's really. That's what I always say. I say there's nothing wrong to spoil your baby, and I'm okay with it. If I'm okay with it,
Mhm.
that shouldn't be a
Yeah.
problem.
Can be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. The limit is not giving into everything, but
Yeah,
I think
you
giving
set the
love is
boundaries.
should be without limit. When it
Yeah,
comes to giving love, should be without limit. It's not discipline, it's just love. I'm not trying to, tell
Unconditional.
her something that she did. I'm just
Yeah,
giving her love. Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine
So
now your kids have like physical touch? Now you don't want to give your kids physical touch
mm,
because you don't want to spoil them.
For your kids too much. I don't want to give
and
you
you know
too much.
something, and these are the kind of children who grow up to be like cold, like they're I mean, I'm not saying that this is exactly how it goes, but it's been shown that when you didn't get that affection and that
Mhm.
love from your parents when you were little, you grow into an adult who's just indifferent, like you don't really care about people, it makes you selfish, and you get
Yeah,
into your own relationship and you don't want affection, like you feel like that when someone is trying to give you love, you don't even understand it because you're not used to
yeah,
receiving love.
yeah. So
So that's very.
you want to know
So
how
now
to.
that yeah, I
Yeah, go
know we can keep talking about this all
I
night. I see it's
know,
been
but I need.
36 minutes. And I think one thing that I want to point out, I do realize that we are all married on this platform, and I wanted to be mindful of, there are different kind of parents out there. I think it hits me when we're all talking about how supportive, how we get support from our husband,
yeah,
and it's just a coincidence that we all happen to have husband, but the reason that this platform was created is to encourage and to embrace all kind of mothers, whether you were a single mom, whether you were in a single parent household. You might not be single, but you were a single parent. We are here to embrace you. We don't do any judgment. We try to maintain a non-judgment. So the example that we might have given tonight might not be suitable for you, but please let us know what you think. Let us know how we can improve, and if you want to come on the platform next time and tell you about what's working for you, we will welcome that. So we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Please go and follow the page. Follow the page on Facebook and join the Mama Wellness Club group. Follow us on Instagram and let us know how the show is impacting you. And we hope to see you in the next 2 weeks. We try to keep one fun topic and one serious topic. We don't want to overwhelm you on Saturday nights. So we're happy for everybody who joined us tonight. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you again in the next 2 weeks. And if you guys want to add anything,
No, you cover everything. So see you, everybody. Not even ladies, everybody. All the whole
everybody, we
caregivers.
have dads
You
watching us.
enjoy.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. All right. Good
All right.
night.
Thank you,
ladies,
everybody.
have
Good
a
night.
good night.